In this video lecture, we are going to learn how to draw a stick diagram. We will start with a very simple example of drawing stick diagram of an inverter, CMOS inverter. Few things. Here I have shown the circuit diagram for an inverter. Before drawing a stick diagram, you should clearly specify which terminal is the source terminal of your transistor and which terminal is the drain terminal of your transistor. And you need to know the basic rules of which color is to be used to represent a particular material. For example, VDD and VSS are the metal lines which should be blue in color. This is your PMOS transistor. The diffusion of PMOS should be shown yellow in color. This is NMOS transistor. Diffusion of NMOS should be shown green in color. Formation of a transistor is poly-crossing diffusion. It forms a transistor. Polysilicon, which is a gate, is red in color. So let us begin with drawing the stick diagram. So I'll first draw the metal lines, the VDD and the VSS lines. The color of metal lines is, metal 1 layer is blue, light blue. So select a light blue color. And light blue color for drawing the metal. So first start with drawing straight two metal lines, one for VDD, one for VSS. Now to create a transistor, to create a PMOS transistor, it's P diffusion, yellow color. So you have a P diffusion which is yellow in color. To form an NMOS transistor, it's N diffusion which is green in color. And formation of a transistor is poly-crossing diffusion. So this is your transistor. Select red color for polysilicon. Poly-crossing diffusion creates a PMOS. Poly-crossing green diffusion creates an NMOS transistor. Now these are the source and the drain terminals. You could decide this as a source or this side as a source. It is up to you to decide. So let us decide this terminal as a source terminal and this as a drain for PMOS. Similarly, let this be the source terminal of NMOS and let this be the drain terminal of NMOS. Now look at the connections. Source of PMOS is connected to VDD. When that's a diffusion, source diffusion connected to VDD. When two different materials meet, there should be a contact. So let us connect source of PMOS to VDD. So I am connecting source of PMOS to VDD, and when metal and a diffusion, two different materials meet, there is a contact. The contact is always shown black in color. Similarly, source of NMOS is connected to VSS. So let us connect source of NMOS to VSS. Again, metal and diffusion meet, so that should be a contact. So we have connected source of PMOS to VDD, source of NMOS to VSS. So this should be the first connections done. Next, the remaining connections. See, the drain of NMOS is connected to drain of PMOS. Diffusions cannot be connected directly. So you need to use metal for the contact. Diffusion of PMOS is connected to diffusion of NMOS. Again, two different materials meet, there should be a contact. Two different materials meet, there should be a contact. Next, gate of NMOS is connected to gate of PMOS. So that's the gate of NMOS, that's the gate of NMOS, and that's the gate of PMOS. Both the gates are shorted, connected with each other. Correct? So now this becomes your input. Your poly becomes input node, and where the drains are connected, that becomes the output node. So now all the connections are done. This is how you start drawing stick diagram. So initially, again I'll repeat, how do you start drawing a stick diagram is, first you should have a circuit with you, mention which is the VDD, VSS input and the output nodes, mention which is the source and the drain terminal of all the transistors, then start with drawing VDD and VSS, then start drawing, arranging or placing the PMOS transistors and the NMOS transistors. Poly crossing diffusion is a transistor formation. So poly, which is crossing the diffusion, is a transistor formation. After transistor formation, mention which is the source terminal and which is the drain terminal of all the transistors, the source and the drain of all the transistors, and then accordingly do the connections of each transistor source, each transistor's drain with reference to your circuit diagram. That's how you draw stick diagrams. Now, PMOS transistors, either you use P-well CMOS or you can use N-well CMOS. To show a well, you have a demarcation line, that is a brown color line, dotted line, which is also called as a demarcation line, which indicates it's a well. It can be a N-well or it can be a P-well. So at the last, you show the well formation with a brown line, brown dotted line. Thank you.